Maybe I can. There we go. Am I recording?
There we go, recording in progress. So fantastic. Yeah, that's great. So I just wanted to quickly make a note of who we've got here. So I'm just going by the names on the Zoom. So I've got Robinson L. Could I have your first name? So I don't have to call you Robinson L. And I've got Smith C1.
Carol Smith.
Carol, is it?
Yes.
Okay. Carol Smith, perfectly. Perfect. So I've got obviously Stephanie, and I've got R. Huffman. Rachel, lovely. Thank you. Because I'm going to ask people to volunteer because I want to make this as hands-on as possible. So then we've got Ms. Williams. Could you tell me your first name?
Yes, Shanice.
Shanice, okay. And am I spelling that Chenice?
Shaniece.
Shaniece, got you. Okay, yes. Shanice Williams, lovely. And then I've got Mike Tiller. So there we are. Hello, Mike. Nice uncomplicated Zoom handle like that. And then I've got Mr. Chipman. Is Mr. Chipman there?
Mr. Chipman is a site coordinator, so he probably just left it on.
Okay, all right. So we won't include Mr. Chipman right now then. So the only name I'm missing is Robinson L. Robinson L, are you hearing me?
Yes, sir. I hear you very well.
Oh, fantastic. Could you tell me your first name, please?
Leola, L-E-O-L-A.
L-E-O-L-A, Leola Robinson. Okay, fantastic. We've got Leola, Carol, Rachel, Shanice, Mike, and of course, Stephanie. And I am Alex, in case anyone had missed that. So groovy. So we're recording. We've got our names. So what I'm going to do to show you the game, I'm now going to put my my camera down, and you're just going to see my hands and a deck of cards. Okay. I'll probably resurface periodically to sort of look at you and explain things, but basically we're going to be looking as much as possible at the cards. Okay, so here we go. My face is going to disappear, and hopefully I can see. There we go. That's it. Lovely. So excuse my belly if that's in your view. So what we're playing, I've got a level 1 here, a level 1 box. So this is the grades 2 to 4 guideline. Majority of questions in here are from grade 3, and there's a few grade 2 and a few grade 4. You're also looking at the 2nd edition of the box. So this has QR codes on the back of the cards, which contain the answers if you scan them with a phone. Now, I believe that this came out after your district bought the game. But there you go. That's just what happens on this version. The answers can pop up on a QR code. In the version 1, the answers are in the rule book. The other thing you've got on here is you've got a little explainer video. There you go. That's me. So you can potentially leave kids to find out how to answer the questions by using devices to scan the QR codes. Apart from that, this is an identical deck, or rather it plays in exactly the same way as the 1st edition box. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is how to set up the Jackpot version of the game. So that's the game which uses the fortune cards and the game cards together. All right. Now, this is a pretty important part of using the game to its full potential. So what you've got in the box is you've got your fortune cards and you've got your game cards. Okay. So to prepare for Jackpot game, we have to take 4 game cards, and then we put in 1 fortune card. And we once again do 4 game cards, 1 fortune card, 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 4 game cards, and 1 fortune card. And then we'll have 3 left over at the top. Okay, so that deck is now ready to play.
How many times do that, Alex? How many was that?
So it's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fortune cards
Okay, thank
to
you.
be placed into the command card deck. And that repeats for all of the different decks, that process. Okay. The reason we do that is that it accelerates gameplay. So if you've got a group of 4 or 5 kids playing around a box, when they see the fortune card at the top, that is their turn. So they simply get that card, and then the gameplay moves on quickly. In other words, they don't have to answer a question on that turn. So it accelerates gameplay, and it also brings a fortune card into someone's hand, which is important, as we'll see as we go forward. Okay, so that is part 1 complete. All right, how to arrange the cards for the game. So I'm just going to pop up again. Was that clear? Does anyone have any questions? Would you like me to repeat that, or has everyone got that?
And please make sure you guys are asking any questions right now while we have him. If it's confusing, please ask questions.
Yeah, absolutely. But shall I assume that everyone is okay with that at this point? Yeah, we all good? We just give me a thumbs up. That'd be great. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Fantastic. Thank you, everybody. All right, here we go. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to get everybody, or at least I'm going to get 4 people involved. And what we're going to do is we're going to find out how the cards work, how these game cards work. Okay, so as you can see, I've set up 4 placemat. These are little sort of coasters or books or whatever. So I'd just like to assign 1 person to each station. Okay, so could I have some volunteers who'd like to be on station 1? If you show a hand. Okay, fantastic. So we've got Shanice. We're going to put you on station 1. Okay, so I'm just going to make a thing here. So that's Shanice. There we go. And who would like to go on station 2? Yeah, okay, that's Rachel on station 2. Rachel, station 2. There we go. Rachel, you have the Austin, Texas coaster. Shanice, you've got the Divided by Chloe Gaudry. She's a 10-year-old who wrote that little book, which is quite fun. Who'd like to go on this attractive coaster which my 6-year-old daughter made for me? Okay, so we've got Carol on there. Lovely. And finally, last but not least, if anyone's into really horrendous puns, this is quite a funny one. It's called a tuit, and with it you do things you otherwise wouldn't have done if you didn't have, sorry, if you hadn't got around to it. All right, so yeah, I inherited it from this office. Anyway, there we go. So who wants to go on to the round tuit? Okay, lovely. We're going to go, Mike, you're going to be on the on there. Fantastic. So let's put Mike on there. All right. Now, as you can see, I've already put on each of these mats, I've put 50 ant coins. So these are ant coins. You've got gold ones and silver ones, which I'm holding, and bronze ones. But we start the game with 50. All right. So I've put 50 on each mat. Now, we also start the game with 3 fortune cards. Okay. I'm not going to explain the fortune cards now, but I wanted you all to see what each player would have before the game starts. Okay. So that's 50 ant coins and 3 fortune cards. Okay. Now, you also notice that these fortune cards are facing up. All right. Now, you can play Numberella Deluxe with the fortune cards up or down. Okay. Obviously, if the cards are hidden, they're secret from the other players, and that changes the strategy of the game. But I find that for younger kids, it can be useful for everybody to know what everyone else has, because then the strategy, although it's less complicated, is more visible. And sometimes for kids, you don't want it to be too complicated. So you can kind of think, okay, they've got that one, so I'm going to do this. But I'll get into fortune cards after we've done the game card demo. Okay, but that's just to explain why the fortune cards are facing up. You can think of it as an option for a game. Okay, and I would suggest you do play cards up at the beginning until your players are familiar. All right, so now we've got 6 dice here. I'm not going to use them straight away. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through I'm going to take you through the first 4 game cards. And I'm actually just going to ask, first of all, Shanice, you're going to have a command card. And I'd just like you to read this question out. I'll do the actions on it. And you can answer the questions. So there you go, Shanice. Can you read that okay? So if you go ahead and read it out to us all. I think you might.
Roll the green dice. You have this many dogs. How many legs do you have?
Okay, here we go. So I'm going to roll the green dice.
Okay.
Are you able to see those dice okay?
Is that 4 and 2?
It's a 4 and a 2, exactly. So so there we go. You have this many dogs. So oh, sorry, I should have rolled 1 dice. I beg your pardon. There we go. There's the green dice. That's a 3.
Okay.
So you've got that many dogs. How many legs do you have? Now, as this is the first question and you're the guinea pig first, I'm going to tell you this is a trick question. So try and find the trick in it.
Roll the green dice. You have this many dogs. How many legs do you have? Okay, yeah, 2.
Yeah.
4.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah. So you've got 2 legs. So this is it's a trick question.
I have 2 legs.
Yeah. Yeah. You got 2 legs.
Okay, okay.
All right. Now, you've answered that question correctly, obviously. At the bottom of the card, we can see next to the gold coin, the number 75. All right. That is the number of ant coins you've just won.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you now from the bank. Now, I always keep my ant coins in a dice mat because it's the easiest access to them. All right. You don't
Okay.
have to do that. You can keep them in the top of the box as well. But I find generally it's kind of nice to have them open in a dice mat. So I think you all did buy a bunch of dice mats. So if there's enough to go around, I would suggest doing this. So I'm now going to give you 75, right? So there's 30, 40, 50, 60, 75. Okay, so that's what you just won. Now you also see here, you've got this magic wand symbol,
Mhm.
all right? And next to it, it says times by 0. Now, this is the multiplier, which means that you would roll a dice and times it by whatever number you see here. Now,
That's
obviously,
0. I don't want that one.
no, you don't want that one. It's quite a fun little trick for kids. Sometimes they get confused about what times by 0 is. So you can get them to roll the dice and you say, all right, what's 2 times 0? And they say 0. And you say, well, that's what you're getting extra. I always like to try and trick my kids into rolling when it's a magic time 0, because sometimes they're excited and they do it. But anyway, so your total score for this is 75. Okay. Now, this card becomes your card. All right. And
Okay.
whenever you get a card correct, or whenever a player gets a card correct, they keep that card because a group of cards has a bonus value later in the game. Okay. If you have 3 oranges, for example, they're worth 30 ant coins. Same with, of course, any other color. So that's why we keep the cards. We're trying to collect them. Now, you started the game with 50 and you just won 75. That means you have gone through the 100 ant coin threshold. And when you get 100 ant coins in silver, you're meant to cash them in for a gold piece, all right, which I'm now going to do. So we cash in those 100, we take 100 back in gold, okay, and I put that on your station. And when you get a gold piece, you're going to get a new fortune card, all right? And the fortune card you've got is a Ronnie Resist, but as I said, I'm not going to explain those quite yet. I just want to go everyone to have a turn, just like the one we did, but this time we're going to try the next card along, which is the true or false category, okay? So this command category generally requires a dice roll, right? Something to do with dice. You roll the dice, you stack the dice. So it's a physical category. Idea is to develop fast, you know, sort of motor reflexes and that kind of thing in fingers, strength and hands, and so on and so forth. So that's your command category. So now we're on to Rachel. You ready, Rachel? Okay, fantastic. So Rachel, you're going to take a true or false card. Okay, so your job is simply to say whether the statement on here is true or false. There you go. Can you read that out for everybody, please?
Cuboid has 8 faces.
Is that true or false?
False.
Yeah, very good. Perfect. So you can see here you've won 55 ant coins, and you've also got a magic times 10.
Woohoo.
Yeah, so this is
Not
a nice
fair.
card. So Rachel, what we're going to do is we're going to roll the dice, and I'd like you please to times whatever number you see on it by 10. Okay, there you go. Oh, look at that. That is, can you see that okay? That's a 6.
Oh, a 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got 60.
All right. So you've got 60, and now if you can add the 60 to the 55, that becomes your total score for the card.
So 115.
Yes, very nice. So I'm going to put your card down here. That's the card you won. There you go. It goes onto your station. And as before, if you were to get 3 greens, they would be worth 30 ant coins. So you trying to collect greens now. And I'm going to give you your 115. Okay. Now, obviously, I don't have to change your 50 because you've gone straight through the 100 barrier. So there we go. There's your 115. I'm going to put them on there. There we go. You're the new leader. You have 165 now. And of course, you've got a gold piece. So you also get a new fortune card. You've got a Harry hijack. Okay. I'm not going to explain that quite yet. There you go. Put that down there. So that's the end of your turn. So now, Carol. Carol, you're up. And Carol, you're going to play a number 3, which is a word question card. Okay. So I'm going to flip that card round. If you could read it out to everybody.
We can't hear you. You're still muted, Miss Smith.
Oh, bring,
There we go. We can hear you now.
okay. This line is hot, 500 medium. Medium. It takes 1 3/4 hours. How many minutes is that?
Okay, there you go. So if you can answer that question for us.
Or 60, 40, 45. Was 10. 105?
Correct. Lovely, great job. Okay, now as you can see, you've won 50 ant coins. Okay, and your multiplier symbol, your magic symbol, is D. Now the D stands for double.
Oh,
Okay, so it means that if you roll a double, then your 50 will become worth 100. Okay, so we're going to have a go now. We're going to see. Now I've played a few games of Numberella today, and I have rolled a couple of doubles. So, and of course, if you're into talking to your students about probability, then you know you can start thinking about what's the chances of me rolling a double. Well, it's a 1 in 6. Okay, so let's see how the luck is. No double, sorry.
oh.
Okay, so that means that you've just won 50. So I'm going to put your purple card down here. Now you've got 50 already at the start of the game. So I'm going to put those 50 into the bank, and I'm going to bring out 100, because obviously 50 add 50 is 100. And because you've got 100, you're going to get a new fortune card, and your fortune card is a thief. Okay, I'm going to put that down on your fortune card stack. And we're just now moving finally to Mike.
Oh, wait, before you go,
Yeah.
the card that I got there, it says I'm a thief, so I could thief the rest of people's money.
Yes, that's exactly right. That's what you can do with your thief. I'm gonna unleash you on each other in the next phase of the demonstration. Okay. So yes, but you've got a thief ready and waiting to go to play against your opponents. So this is the last demo of the game cards. Okay, so this one's for Mike. Now, Mike, you've got a category 4. So this category is called high pressure, and it's 12 mental arithmetics. All right. Now, with category 4 high pressure, another player has to ask you the questions. Okay, so I will do that for you. Now, while we're here, some of you, the eagle-eyed amongst you, may have noticed that there's a sand timer symbol here, and next to it there's the number 4. All right, now that's telling you how much time you have available for this card. Now, all of the cards have sand timers, and obviously the game comes with a sand timer. The sand timer is optional. I recommend using it for students who are confident and not using it for students who aren't confident. Okay, it's really down to you. It doesn't particularly affect the gameplay. I sometimes use it on students who aren't paying attention and who I know could answer the questions well but are not paying attention. So I go, okay, sand timer, let's go. So, but again, it's really at your discretion whether you use it or not. We want Numberella fundamentally to be enjoyable for students. So if pressure is putting them off, don't use it. Okay. Anyway, so let's go, Mike. I'm going to ask you these questions. So 9 times 3?
27.
5 times 2?
10.
2 plus 2?
4.
9 times 1?
9.
8 take away 1?
7.
9 take away 9?
0.
8 plus 4?
12.
8 take away 7?
1.
3 plus 1?
4.
7 take away 4?
3.
5 times 6?
30.
8 plus 2?
10.
Fantastic. So perfect score. So you win 60. Yeah, nice work. If you had got one of them wrong, then you would have 5 taken away from your total. Okay, so effectively each question is worth 5 ant coins. There are 12 of them, so they're worth 60. Now you also have a magic D, so let's see if I can improve on your behalf. No, sorry. So you're getting 60. I'm going to put that here on your station. Now, obviously, you've got 50. You've added 60. So 50 add 60 is going to give you 110. And of course, we're encouraging students to do all of this mental math. And this is really maybe the biggest percentage of the value of the game, is the fact that every single thing that you do requires you to add or times or subtract or, do something with numbers. So you're really constantly doing number work. And one fortune card for you, which is a thief. Okay. So there we go. We've had a round of game card play. Now, obviously, we haven't done category 5 or 6. The cards work in exactly the same way in terms of how they score. But basically, the purpose of that past few minutes was just to explain game cards. So I'm going to just pop up again. Does everyone feel confident about game cards? Have I explained to your satisfaction how that works? Yeah, show of hands. All right, fantastic. Okay. And does anyone have any questions at this point? Yes, one question. Sure. Carol.
It seems like a little difficult for second grade.
For second grade?
Yes. Why can I teach that to first grade too, or I have to bring numbers? You have ones with numbers a little lower.
Do you mean that the level of the questions?
Yes.
The level of the questions is fixed, right? We can't change the content. What you will have in each box, you've got 24 cards which are blank. So what you can do is you could go through your decks and take out the harder questions, because basically every deck has 27 cards, and they're divided into approximately sort of 8 or 9 very easy, 10 medium difficulty, and another sort of 9 that are harder. All right. So what you could do, take out the hardest ones, you use your judgment, which are appropriate for your students, and then potentially write your own cards on the blank ones, and then you can slightly lower the level of the deck. Okay. Yeah. Does that answer your question? Okay.
I asked the question because you said for up to 7 going up. So if I can.
Sure. I mean, this, like I said, the majority of the content is aligned with grade 3. Right. So, but for some students, grade 3, some students in, like if you have acceleration grade 2, they're probably going to be able to handle this. You could have remediation grade 4, and they'd be able to handle this. But look, the abilities of students varies so much. You have to kind of assess what's right for your students, and then you can tailor your box appropriately.
One sample so that I can see it and make it, reduce it to the rest of the level.
Sure. Yeah, sure. Well, do with it what you want. It's as long as you have, I don't know, 20, so 15 to 20 cards in each deck, you should be fine. So you can take out the harder ones. Okay. All right, wonderful. Thank you for your question. And let's go on to the next bit of the demo. I'm aware that we've got a little bit of time issue, so you'll be relieved to hear that there are only 3 more sections. All right. Now I'm going to talk about the fortune cards. All right. Now, there are 5 fortune cards, okay, mixed up within this deck. And the most important fortune card is this fortune card, which is called the Harry Hijack. Okay. Now, Harry Hijack is there because any player holding the Harry Hijack can hijack another player's turn. Okay. Now, what this means is that if you have a group of students, rather than the only person who's paying attention being the person whose turn it is, anyone holding this card will pay attention because they know that they can hijack their opponent and try and get their money from them on their turn. So that's the purpose of the card. Other side effects are that if a player is under pressure, they're not sure how to answer a question, sometimes they're quite relieved that someone hijacks them. So it lets them off the hook. So it's a very valuable card for a group of students with different abilities, right? Because we want those students to interact together and for them all to do math. And so this card enables that to happen. So it's very important that we understand how this card works properly. All right. So we're going to once again do a role play, okay, because I want everyone to get a chance to use the Harry Hijack card. So here's how it works. One player will read out the card, and in this instance, I'm going to ask Shanice, you're going to be the hijacker, okay? And Rachel, you're going to be the person getting hijacked. All right. So that means I'm going to give Rachel a question, and I'm going to ask Shanice to hijack it. All right. So here we go. We're going to go with this green card. Once again, a true or false card. Now, this card can be hijacked once it's been read out. Okay. So, Rachel, if you could read that question out.
A lesson started at 9:40 and finished at 10:30. It lasted 50 minutes.
Okay, and now Shanice, can you say Harry Hijack?
Harry Hijack.
There we go. So Shanice has now hijacked this card, which means that Shanice, you must now answer the question.
That's true.
It's true. Okay. Now, whenever a hijack happens, the person who hijacks must dice duel the person whose card it was. All right. So this is protecting the person who got hijacked. It means that, you know, the best mathematician can't bully the rest of the field with the hijack card. Okay. So now we have the dice duel. So the hijacker was Shanice. And Shanice, you're going to roll first. And this is protocol. The hijacker always rolls first. Okay. Because kids often like to roll second. But if you hijack, you get to roll first. Okay. So we're going to roll first. So Shanice, you are rolling first. You roll a 3. Okay. And Rachel, you're going to roll second. And you need to beat that 3. So Rachel, you roll a 5. Okay. So Rachel, the dice duel has protected you from the hijack. Now this used hijack card now goes out. So we're going to put that back to the bottom of the deck. And so Rachel, you get to keep your card. I may as well give you the score. You get 50. We roll the dice because it's a magic D. And what do you know? I've rolled you a double 4. Okay. So you're going to get 100 ant coins for this card. So there you go. There's your 100. And you've got 2 greens and you get a new fortune card. I'm going to put that under there. That was a thief. Okay, so we're going to do another role play on Harry Hijack. This time, Rachel, you're going to be the hijacker. And Carol, you're going to be the one getting hijacked. Okay, so Carol, you're going to get another, why don't we give you a yellow card? Okay, so this card is called Quick Draw. So Carol, I'm going to show you this card, and Rachel, I want you to shout Harry Hijack. Okay, here we go. So there we are.
She reads it first, right? Oh, she has to do it. Okay, Harry Hijack.
Right, there we go. Yes, because quick draw category can be hijacked straight away. I'll break that down for you once we've done the hijack demo. All right, so Rachel, you've hijacked, so you get to answer the question. So you can read it out to us now.
Okay, hold your left leg with your left hand and name this shape. Cylinder.
There you go. Very nice. Now, as you can see, this is a very valuable card. It's worth a whole 100. So, Rachel, you as the hijacker will roll first. And you roll a 6.
I'm really good at this game.
Carol, let's see how you can defend.
12.
5. Okay, so Rachel, you have successfully hijacked. You're going to get the 100 ant coins. So you now take a healthy lead. You get a new fortune card, which is another Harry hijack. So I'm going to put that on your station. The Harry hijack that was used goes out. And, you know, Carol, unlucky, essentially. You know, you were successfully hijacked. Now, everyone, let me know, would you like to see another demonstration? Because I know that, you know, I've played this game sort of 10 million times. It's very familiar to me, but if would you like to see another demonstration of that mechanism, or are we comfortable? If everyone's comfortable, show me a thumbs up. Yeah, we all good? Okay, fantastic. All right, so that's the Harry hijack. Now, as I said, I need to explain at what point the hijack card can be used. And it breaks down like this. For decks 1, 2, and 3, the player has to read the question out before the hijack can be used. For decks 4 and 5, the hijack can be made straight away. So as soon as the dice has fallen. All right, so just repeat that again. For decks 1, 2, and 3, the player gets to read the question out before they can be hijacked. The idea is that they try and think of the answer whilst they read. For decks 4 and 5, the hijack can be made instantly. All right, so that is the hijack rule explained. Deck 6, you might be wondering, deck 6 varies according to card. Okay, most of the cards in deck 6 are no hijack cards, and it says on the card no hijack. All right, there's a couple of questions, such as the questions which ask about history or the capital of such and such a country. Those can be hijacked, but basically you have to take it step by step on deck 6. All right, so we are covered on Harry hijack. I've got 3 extra things to say on Harry hijack, which is that the card is worth -10 if it is unused at the end of the game. That's the same for all fortune cards. So basically that's there so that players who may be unwilling to hijack or unadventurous, they know that it's going to bite them. So it's just there to encourage everybody to use the card. The card can only be used once, like I said, and this handshake symbol tells you that the card can be traded. Okay, so if you had 5 Harry hijacks, you think I don't need all of these, and one of them is going to cost me, you can sell it to another player on your turn. The value is agreed between the players. There's no fixed value for the card. Okay, that brings us to the end of the Harry hijack. Now, is everyone okay with Harry hijack? Any questions before we move on to the next stage?
No.
We all good? All right. So what we're going to do now, we've sort of started a game here. So it's time for us to play a turn each, right? I think we've got time for that. So we're going to play a turn each. We're going to roll the dice, and whatever number is rolled on the dice, that is the card that you're going to pick up. Okay. So if you roll a 1, you pick up a 1. Everyone's got some money. Everyone's got some fortune cards. So let me explain now what the rest of the fortune cards do. If you have a Gin Genie card, the Gin Genie, if you look very closely, has money in the crystal ball. And the Gin Genie basically brings you money from the bank, and it brings you however much money it says on the card. So Shanice, you're going to go first. And this card, therefore, can bring you 50. You can decide whether to cash it in or not. Would you like to cash it in? Ah, Shanice has left the building. So I'm going to make that decision for her. Right? She's going to cash in that 50. Here we go. So she's got 50 extra for that Gin Genie. And the Gin Genie goes to the bottom of the deck. And now she's going to roll her dice. She's rolled a 4. Now that means someone else has to ask her, she's back. So Shanice, apologies, in your absence, I cashed in your Gin Genie card for 50 ant coins. Okay. So you had this Gin Genie card, and the Gin Genie means you get money from the bank. So I've given you that money from the bank, and now you've rolled a 4, and I'm going to ask you these questions. Okay. And we're going to have one turn each and see who gets the most money. So are you ready? All right. 5 times 2.
10,
9 times 4.
like 36,
11 times 3.
33,
7 times 4.
28,
Yes. 3 times 3.
9,
9 times 1.
9,
12 times 3.
36,
10 times 1.
10,
8 times 5.
40,
5 times 5.
45, I'm sorry, 25,
Yep. 2 times 2.
4,
And 12 times 1.
12.
Nice one. So you win 60 and a magic times 10. Let's roll that magic. It's a 3. 3 times 10, 30. 60 plus 30, 90. So I'm going to put 10 from your stash in the bank. You get 100 back, and you get a new fortune card. Your new fortune card is a Gin Genie 30. Now you can cash that in. Would you like to do that?
How many can I collect?
Well, you can play as many cards on your turn as you want. If you haven't cashed it in by the time the buzzer goes, then you will have to pay 10 for the card. So my advice would be to get the cash while you can.
Okay, I'll take the money.
All right, take the money. Good idea. Here we go. So there's an extra 30. Now that puts you on 30, 60, 95. Not quite enough to get another fortune card. So that is the end of your turn.
Okay.
All right. Now, Rachel, we're moving on to you. Let's look at your fortune cards. Now you have a Harry Hijack. You've got a Thief 30. Now, I guess you all can guess what the Thief does. It means you can steal from another player, and you can steal however many ant coins it says on the card. So Rachel, you are able to steal 30 from any other player.
I have a quick question about those. What's the criteria to draw another one? Because I noticed before when we would play our Harry Hijack, then we would draw another one. But then when you played her Gin Genie card, you didn't draw another one until the end.
Yeah, sure. So the criteria is that every time you pass through 100, you get another fortune card.
Okay. So when you pass through 100.
Yeah, Shanice is only on 95, so she didn't get through that threshold.
And then, so also, second question. So every round is a different game.
No, I've been breaking it down into rounds so that we can first do game cards and then do fortune cards. But once we've explained the 2 types of card, the game will just flow, and it just becomes about who gets the most money in the amount of time available.
So as soon as she got 5 more monies the next round, then she would get another fortune card, because then she would have cleared that next 100. Or would she have to do the 100 in the round?
No, so there's no round-based rules. You basically play until the buzzer goes. The reason it seems like there are rounds is that I did the first round to explain the game cards.
Okay.
And then the second round to explain the fortune cards. And then now we're kind of in a free game. So, you know, we haven't got that much time left, but, you know, if we can, we'll get around as many turns as we can. You all can do whatever you like. You can hijack each other's questions and so on. So this is sort of free play now.
Can I interrupt, Alex?
Yeah.
Really quickly. So, and then Ms. Huffman, so yes, if she, let's say the next time, like, it's not about the round, so it's just really about the money. So when next time she goes and she can collect 50 coins, then right now she's at 100 and let's just say she's at 195, or maybe she's at 95 coins right now. So if she rolls a dice and she's supposed to get 50 coins, then in that case you can give all of those back, get 100, and make sure you have 45. Does that make sense? That's,
Yeah.
is that right, Alex?
Yeah, exactly. So next time Shanice plays, as long as she answers a question correctly, she'll go through the next 100 barrier and she'll get another fortune card.
Okay.
All right. So Rachel, you've got 2 thieves. You can play them both together. And so this one's a 30 and this one's a 50. All right. Now you can decide who you want to play them against.
Who has the
But-
most money?
Well, that would be Shanice at the moment.
Okay, well, I'm gonna take from Shanice.
Ah.
Sorry,
and would-
Rachel, I'm not giving it up.
All right, so here's your decision, right? Shanice has 2 of these Ronnie Resist cards.
Oh,
Now, each Ronnie Resist will cancel out 1 thief. Okay, so you may feel slightly hard done by because I didn't explain that before, but as it's a demo game, we can probably get over it, right? So, Rachel, you play your first 30 at Shanice. Now, Shanice, would you like to pay 30 or resist?
I would like to resist.
Yes, I thought you would. So as it stands, no money changes hands, right? But the bad news for Shanice and the good news for Rachel is that Rachel has a Ronnie Resist as well. And she can use that to cancel Shanice's Ronnie Resist. Okay. So right now, Shanice is paying. But actually, so yeah, Rachel plays the thief, Shanice resists, Rachel resists. Now, Shanice, you've got another resist. Okay, so as it stands, you are not paying. And Rachel doesn't have any more resists, so you have successfully blocked her. You don't have to pay. Okay, so the resists
Yeah.
have played each other and you don't have to pay. Now, it doesn't end there because Rachel has another thief and you don't have any more resists. And what's even worse is this thief is worth 50, right? The other one was only worth 30. So you now are going to have to pay. You're going to have to pay 50. All right. Sorry about that. So there's no defense. The card is used. It goes to the bottom. And Shanice is handing over 50 to Rachel. Now, Rachel, as you can see, you've actually got 365 here. Okay, you've got the high score at the moment. So this 50 plus 50 from your stash is going to go into the bank and you're going to get another 100 piece. There you go, 50 and 50. You get another 100 piece. You're now on 415 and you're going to get a new fortune card, which is a Harry Hijack. Okay. Now, you can't use your Harry Hijacks on your own turn. You can only use them as an attack card on someone else's turn. So that's the end of your turn. And now it's Carol's turn. Okay. Oh, no, sorry. Rachel, you didn't actually roll, did you?
right. No, I did not.
So there you go. I'll roll your dice for you. You've got a 5. Now, everybody else has got a Harry Hijack apart from Shanice. So Mike and Carol, if you want to Harry Hijack this card, you can. Would you like to? Just shout Harry Hijack. If either of you want to shout Harry Hijack, shout. Otherwise, Rachel's going to take the card. So 3, 2, 1. Rachel, answer as fast as you can. Are we getting a hijack there? Yes? Okay.
Yes, yes.
All right. So Carol's hijacking. So here we go. Carol, you're in. So Carol, you now answer the question. So it says, cross your arms and say how many faces this shape has. I didn't catch it.
1, 2, 3, 3.
3 faces. Okay. This is actually a triangular prism. All right. So it's got 4 faces. Okay.
4, yeah.
Now, I know that Carol did that on purpose to allow me to say what happens when someone hijacks and gets an answer wrong. Okay. So what happens is the person who got hijacked gets the money for free. Okay. They don't have to answer the question. That's just what happens. There's like their prize for being hijacked by somebody who didn't get it right. So Rachel, right now you're going to get another 30, and you also get a magic D. So I'm going to roll that magic D. There's no double. Rachel, you get another 30. And Carol, your hijack goes to the bottom of the pile, but other than that, nothing bad happens to you. Okay. So that's the end of Rachel's turn. She doesn't pass through another 100, so she doesn't get a new fortune card. Now, are we having a hard deadline at 6 o'clock? Shall I stop there, or do we want to do another sort of?
No, we're gonna have a hard deadline this 6 o'clock because we had a meeting before this one, so I know they're all at work still, so I know they're ready to get home. And it's pouring down, storming rain out here, so yeah.
That's absolutely fine. So listen, what I wanted to say anyway was I'd really like to offer another like mini support session if desired, right? Because you guys are going to take this into the field. I've only explained the basics. I mean, I've explained the most important things, but I want to be here to support your rollout, because really all I want is for this to work for you. So, you know, if you'd like, you know, Stephanie, we can set up in, you know, maybe a month's time. It doesn't have to be an hour. It can be like a 15-minute Q&A. If everyone has played it with their kids, you can come back to me. Any questions, I'll help you out. And then after that, you know, I feel confident you're going to go out there, all guns blazing, really confident in using the game for the benefit of your students. And, you know, I can potentially at that point also explain to you how you can use a league, how you can create continuity from week to week, and, you know, go into that a little bit, which was the last thing on the agenda for today. Okay, so Stephanie, you and I can, you know, we can talk about that, sort that out, but maybe if we think of, you know, a month from now, I'd love to do that and make sure we make this a big success for everybody. Okay.
Yes. Hopefully, thank you, Alex. Yes, you and I will touch bases offline. But everybody else, like I said, thank you all for staying on. I hope you guys got a quick little refresher of this game. Depending on the age group that you have, as he stated, you have those blank cards where you can kind of, you know, look through the deck and see how you can make it age appropriate for your students. So that way you guys can try to play this game for our younger group. So with me sitting on this, sitting on here, I can kind of understand a few things as well myself now. So I can try to help a little bit throughout this time frame while you guys are working on it. But I really do want to see you all incorporating this into your program at your sites, because I think it'll be a pretty cool game for them to learn different things. It gives you a lot of things, like he said, motor skills, reading skills, you know, and math. Like it's making you think a lot, you know. And following directions, you know, that's another thing. So I really, really hope that we all can kind of just, you know, incorporate this into your schools. And like I said, if you have questions, let me know. I can reach out to Alex and ask any questions that you all may have while you are working on, you know, incorporating this Numberella into your programs, into your schools. So if you guys don't have any questions right now, I do appreciate you all. Try to play this game by yourself with other people if you can. Take it home. Not really take it home, but I want to make sure you all do it at the schools. But nonetheless, I just really want you guys, if you need to practice, just practice a little bit to get yourself acclimated and equipped with everything. So thank you all for staying on. Like I said, I will pay you guys for this hour. You guys be safe driving home tonight. And thank you so much. Happy parent teacher conference. Happy parent teacher conference.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Bye. Miss Swanson, quick question.
Yeah.
For the surveys, how are they? Whose computers are they supposed to use? Are we supposed to just bring them up one by one to take those?
Yeah. So me and Mr. Shipman were talking about that yesterday. And it'll be a lot if you all do it one by one. You'll probably end up using your whole class hour doing it one by one. Miss Smith, have you guys done the surveys yet with your babies?
Yes, I did them one by one with my class.
Oh, yeah, and she has smaller kids, so so yeah, they did by one. So I mean, that's an option It just will take a little bit longer, but we really do got to get them in though, Ms. Williams. So if that's what we have to do, if you don't mind just give them something, a craft to work on, and you call them up one by one to do the survey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sample of the game?
What'd you say, Ms. Smith?
Can I get a sample of the game?
Yes.
Okay, good, please.
And Alex, thank you so much. This helps a lot, because the way I was playing it is totally wrong, but thank you.
I'm, like Stephanie said, any questions at all, I'm here. And I'd love to see you all in a month. We just touch base, make sure it's working. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Sounds
Thank
good.
you.
Bye.
Thanks so much,
Bye.
Stephanie. Take care.
Bye, Alex. Thank you.
Bye bye. Bye bye bye.
Bye.